Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Welcome to number 214 of Off Panel, Off Topic. Almost forgot the name of our show.
Did I tell you recently? When was the last time I told you that I loved you?
Never.
Really? I think I've told you that before. I'm Tyler, by the way. That's Jake.
Sure.
I just want to tell you that I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. And we're gonna start with positive masculinity. That's how we're.
Positive masculinity is what I want for you and me. What's the time?
55. Well, that right there would probably say by 53 seconds is when you're probably saying that. 52.
Did we swear yet?
Shit. No, I didn't. All right.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show.
Shit. I need that drop.
Yes. You need, okay.
I have not seen The Wire, but I've seen lots of clips of that dude saying shit, and I've been
You
saying
need, you know what you need?
I'm never going to watch it!
You need like 8 drops from the fight between Arnold and Bennett at the end of Commando. Like, come on, Bennett, let's potty. I'm going to kill you, John! You know? You got to get like 8 drops from that one fight. Yeah! Yeah! You know? You know what I'm talking about?
It sounds like when I put on my jeans in the morning.
Sounds like
Yeah! One-legged.
Stop with them leather pants, man.
Well, Daddy's got to make the...
Daddy's got to make the rent any way that he can.
You know,
the way that he
owns
can.
his house.
Yeah.
What mortgage? I got to pay the mortgage.
I don't have any equity. Let's go.
I'm not very liquid.
I'm not. It's all tied up in futures.
Stop
it.
Showing my age because I know what you're talking about.
Fuck. Financial security and stability.
When you have a job in
fucking
in
hell.
finance.
Ugh. Are you vested? You fucking ain't right.
Oh,
I'm vested.
vested.
I'm vested immediately. You know what? They were like, we'll vest you. We'll vest you in 6 months. I'm like, no, you can vest me now, motherfucker. You know?
Sorry.
That's what I said to them.
You know what I said? Son of a bitch. Not that.
Son of a bitch.
Don't do that.
That's pretty loud. You turn that down a little bit.
Fuck you, asshole.
How about that?
I'm sorry, I'm gassy. I didn't mean to burp in the mic.
You fucking
9/10 of good radio is be in preparation. Wow. 1/10. Just don't
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Let's fucking do this. What are we doing anyway?
None
are
of
we
your
doing
business.
a show? We're doing a show. I'm doing a show. Nobody knows what we're doing a show.
So you are you done? Are you done? So you and I were talking before the show. We got 4 or 3 retro Fantastic Four books. So these are like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby books.
It's an FF heavy episode, bruh.
Yeah. So we're going back in time and talking about that. And I was saying before we went on the show, I said, because we joked that I was negative about it because I'm like, and I said this in the text, I said, I can respect that he is a big part of my childhood and a big part of like characters that are important to me and can understand the contributions he made to the business. But I'm not the biggest fan of Stan Lee, the writer. And we were kind of going back and forth in that, and I was like, well, at least, and I was telling you the things that I was like, I liked before, like really going into it, like
So,
we were going to talk about on the show. But the long way of saying this is, I was saying, well, at least it was nice to go back and read a classic book that isn't like super dour, and like of the time, like mid '80s,
so before
90s,
let's talk about
Rob
all this
Liefeld,
before we get into Jim Lee.
Hey, I like his art.
So do I.
Isn't he the editor of DC now? Yeah. He's been there for a while, though.
If you told Jim Lee in 1991, hey, you're eventually going to be basically the owner of Detective Comics DC, he would have been like, well, I know that. So, because he's egotistical. McFarlane. Okay, so so before we get into any of the books, like let's talk about this a little bit because we do have some stuff we want to talk about. First, we wanted to touch upon the fact that these 3 books, and we did the Galactus saga or the Silver Surfer saga. I can't remember what it's called, but it's called something. 48, 49, and 50.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it's commonly known, these 3 issues together, as the saga of the Silver Surfer. So 48, 49, 50, The Coming of Galactus, If This Be Doomsday, and the Startling Saga of the Silver Surfer. Now, the reason why I wanted to read them, and I'm glad that they came out with them, is because I've never actually read these books. I've seen many clips and everything, but I wanted to read them just to kind of see, because, what did I love so much about Silver Surfer Black is that they went into the past of the Marvel Universe, right? You know what I mean? Like, they went to the primal shit. Same thing with that Defenders book. Both Defenders series were really good like that. But this is different because this is from the old times. And so instead of being like a writer exploring a different a place that's never been touched,
instead of having him
the origins of these
him
characters that have never these characters have never appeared before these issues. So it's kind of cool to read those things. And we talked about how it's interesting because there's an innocence almost to it that doesn't evoke. I mean,
it was like seeing Superman and being a bright, colorful DC versus the dour, dark shit that the Snyderverse.
To be really honest, the Superman books were still largely that in the 70s. Like the Batman and Green Arrow and shit, and Green Lantern, they were getting darker and stuff in the 70s and then into the 80s. But Superman largely remained pretty light until Man of Steel. Like John Byrne was really the one to bring any not seriousness, but heaviness or weight to Superman's stories, if that makes sense. Before it was like, I don't give a shit what happened last issue. I'm the writer of this issue, and I say he's got lemon juice vision, all right? And then the next writer has to deal with that because
which is also
that's how they did shit.
You know what else is funny? Is
lemon juice vision.
Real quick, because I want to jump off this to what we were talking about right before we were recording.
Yeah.
But there's been so much spoilers. I thought, oh shit, I don't.
Do we even have spoilers anymore? We don't have Pizza Time anymore.
Well, if you haven't seen Superman, I'm gonna spoil this for you. So,
are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
Because that's what's gonna happen. So I said.
So, skip ahead 10 minutes.
Skip ahead
5, whatever.
From 7:47 to like 7:57. The parents saying that they sent him there to take over Earth, right? Yeah. There's so many people that are upset about that, and I'm like, first of all, like you and I were talking about in the review of it, was that's in the comics.
It is.
And we're not spoiling anything. We're just saying a general thing that happens in the movie.
Yep.
And you can really point out who actually knows their shit and who are being fucking grifters.
Disingenuous.
Being disingenuous grifters. And like if you actually like acknowledge like this is in the comics but I don't like it, that's one thing.
Fair.
But then some of these people being like, oh, you completely change the character and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, it's in the comics.
They do that stuff. Like Edie Gathegi, I don't know if you noticed this, and I totally didn't even recognize him because he's got like makeup on in most of Superman.
Yeah.
All of it. But he played, what's his name in First Class?
Darwin.
And what a shitty character and end for that character. Like the character was cool.
Well, we'll bring him back is what they promised him.
But they literally, he did an interview where he's like, don't do that.
A lot of people forgot about that.
But Darwin, as far as I know, doesn't exist in the books.
Speaking of the name Darwin, to get back to what we were talking about.
Get back to it.
We were talking about like the art of. We were talking about Justice League New Frontier and like things like that.
Yeah.
And we talked about
Darwin Cook.
And I mentioned, which rest in peace.
Yeah.
We
also lost Peter David. We've lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Jackson Gucci, a lot of people.
Since we've done this show, there's been a handful of artists. Like,
it feels like every time I open a book now, it's like we rest in peace to this guy. Anyway.
But we're talking about his Minutemen book
that
he did for Before Watchmen. How I love the art because he just nails that style.
Yes.
And that retro futuristic look. And you were talking and you mentioned that, and I said I hated him. And you were like, wait, you didn't even like, whatever. And I'm like, I didn't hate the books. the books that I read I thought were fine, but I didn't care enough
They
to
weren't
read
all
all of them.
winners. Yeah.
And I want to be clear. I am not a Zack Snyder or Zack Snyder. I'm not an Alan Moore purist. I liked the Snyder
Watchmen
movie.
purist. Yeah.
Yeah, and Alan Moore Watchmen because Alan Moore hates any adaptation.
Of course. Well, mainly because they've been made to fuck him out of money. So
Yeah,
We
especially
get that.
especially Watchmen. And it's like I meant it to be a comic book, and that's what it is. But anyway, that's my Alan Moore. Is it good, bad?
pretty good. I've never heard him. So I'm
We've never heard it.
just continue.
No, it's getting a little weird. It's getting away from me.
Now I must chimney sweep down London way.
No, I'm Harry Potter.
No, and I'm Voldemort. What?
It's not Ray Fiennes.
I don't give a fuck.
Whoa, he is a fine actor.
Oh.
Ray Fiennes, he's great.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Voldemort. I don't give a
He's
fuck.
Voldemort in the fucking movie.
I don't care who Voldemort is. And then he has no nose. Go ahead.
But I didn't care for the idea of it. Because, and again, not because I'm a purist. I like that HBO show too. I just thought
HBO shows
that it was silly to me to go back and rehab because DC is out of money, so they need to milk a franchise and fuck over Alan Moore again. And it just felt like a cash grab because I'm just like, it's the same issue I've had with Star Wars. It's like, dude, just leave well enough alone. Be okay. And I really hope that DCU, I'm going to use a great example here because they just started the universe. They have all this backstory already built in, and I know he probably will, but but I don't want I want that. I don't like going back in time and trying to explain everything. I don't need to know what the Minutemen were doing.
Did you read the Dollar Bill one shot?
No, and I didn't care.
Why not? Because it was Steve Root at his best, man. Steve Root came in and he wrote a book from the perspective of Dollar Bill after he's dead. It was effing brilliant.
And I'm sure it is. I don't care.
Yeah,
to read
but
it.
you're a dick.
I don't care to read it.
Dick.
I don't care.
I'm a dick.
Maybe if
I'm a
it's
dick.
on sale, I would. But it's just like,
No,
to me, it's like I don't need to see the fucking Clone Wars.
I
If you like the
agree.
Clone Wars, good for you.
I agree to disagree with you.
And I don't. But
If
I
that
don't
makes
need
sense.
6 episodes of
I-
Kenobi fucking fighting Darth
Yeah,
Vader.
but it was fucking awesome, dude. It was fucking dope.
And if you like that, cool. But it's not for me.
Yeah, screw you, man. No, I respect your. I do respect that you have those opinions, but because I don't know if it's because I'm from a different time, but I like that stuff.
Yeah.
But
And I'm not anti.
trust
and I'm,
me,
And
look,
I'm not against prequels either.
they're
If this
doing
is a good story. It's a
Listen,
good story.
Tim Burton is doing his next movie is a remake of the 50-Foot Woman. I mean, Hollywood's completely lost out of ideas, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what we have looking forward to, right? Is more reboots and shit and whatever. But I'm okay with it if it's done well.
Well, what's the running theme of this show?
What show?
This show, because it's the running theme of the history
Of our show?
of human existence. The problem is not the artists in this scenario; it's the corporations.
Yeah, no. The people working on the book are like, oh, cool, I get to do a work for DC. That's going to be great on my resume.
And I'm being completely honest. I have no opinion on his Minuteman book because I didn't read it, and I don't have any opinion on that Dollar Bill book. I have no doubt that you and I have very similar tastes in books. You're probably spot on. And again, I liked that Watchmen show, and I thought how they did the Hooded Justice story was interesting and cool. But I would have been perfectly fine not having it. Like,
see,
it
the
doesn't-
hooded justice shit was from the before Watchmen,
Okay.
from the Minutemen book.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Because it was the original Night Owl writing his book.
How Hollis Mason, yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically everything that you didn't know that was kind of hinted at in the original book laid out for everybody to see. And it was really, really good.
Yeah,
Here's
but then again,
hang on.
Did you not hear what you just said? Did you not hear what you just said?
What did I just say?
It plays out the events of what we didn't like. Fills in the things in between of the book.
Yeah, if
That
it's
he-
done right. Listen,
He already did that in the original book.
can I tell you?
In Watchmen,
Can
he
I,
does that.
Got it. Can I tell you, fucker? Can I tell you, you mother? Can I tell you that
And it's probably good.
when I first picked up one of the before Watchmen books, I was like, "What the fuck is this crap? What is this BS? What is this nonsense that this dumbass corporation is trying to milk this crap for? And I read it, and it was the dollar bill one shot. I'm like, this is stupid. Why? He's a footnote in the story.
Yeah.
He's not even, right? And I read it, and it was brilliant because Steve Rude is one of the best comic creators of our generation. Amazing. Nexus? Oh, gotta read that shit. Anyway. And Minuteman, I don't remember who wrote it. It might have been Darwin Cook, but he drew
I'm
it.
positive he drew it and wrote it.
He might have because he was a writer too, but he really delves deep into the relationship between the Hangman or the what is it? The
Hooded Justice.
And what's his name? The fucking
If
the guy from the original.
If that really is
Hourman.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
No,
about.
it was and then
very similar to that.
And then it also tied it
HBO
into what's her name's death, the lesbian who got murdered with her
yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah.
Dude, it is really really good because he explores. It's like reading in comic book form like a 4-part episode of SUV.
SVU. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you were laughing because you were like, I don't want to do that. Like, yeah.
No, I was laughing.
When I sit there and go, what do I want to watch?
And I was
SVU.
I was trying real hard not
No, you had to man.
laugh and correct because I'm like, that's a very salient.
SVU.
You made a very salient point.
And then I fucked it up.
And I was with you. And then you just
SVU. But
Can I?
did you ever see Mindhunter?
Yeah.
On Netflix? Did you like that show?
Yeah.
Okay, you would like the Minutemen comic book because it's a lot like
Again,
that.
I have no doubts that I would.
Okay,
but
then
it's-
shut the fuck.
that I would or wait, how would I phrase that? I have no doubts that I would enjoy it. Yeah, but I'm just saying that like
Your point is totally valid.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
kind of-
maintain. Okay.
So here's my belief.
I
Can
maintain
can I just
that you're right.
Can I?
Things should not be fucked
Thank
with.
you. Okay.
There should not be a Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah. So I want to be clear.
I agree with you, but when they're done well enough, it's like
point.
yes. Go ahead.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go.
I let you fucking
You go.
filibuster, and I'm trying to talk.
You go. Your turn.
Shut the fuck up. You go.
Shut the fuck up.
You go. You go. Just keep doing that. That won't piss him off. Who's baiting who now? Who's rage baiting who?
Go ahead, man. Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Oh, jeez. No, what I'm trying to. All right, we can end on this, but I was just saying that, like, I think both of it, like, and I thought, like, again, I thought Hooded Justice, if that is really what it was in the Minutemen series, and kind of, like, pretty much translated over to the HBO show. No, that, again, very interesting and cool, and I really loved that episode and how they did that. But it's just like. I think it was Anthony Hopkins or somebody like very prestigious actor who said like they don't believe in reading like the book or a comic book or things like that. They believe that everything about the character is within the script. And I think there's truth to that.
Sure.
And maybe you could help reading other things, but that's not who wrote this, whatever. I just feel like everything that could have been and should have been and probably I just feel like Alan Moore got everything out he wanted to get out in those 12 issues of that book.
Fair.
And I think everything that needed to be said was said. And I understand, and like the book, and like it's a cool concept, and like I was saying, but like I felt like that was already done in the Watchmen book, where it's like, well, it's like fills in more of the gaps of the book, and I'm like, well, then I would have read the Alan Moore book that would have put out as this, or something like. I just feel like.
Look, I get what you're saying because.
And shit, I will give it a chance. Like I would read it and probably really enjoy it. I'm not trying to pass judgment on it because I haven't read it.
Look. Think about it like this, okay? Now, Gone with the Wind. I don't give a fuck about that book or that movie.
Ugh.
But the
Boring.
book. Yeah, but the book was revered for a long time, and within the last 20 years, somebody wrote a sequel. And there was a lot of controversy because,
I remember. Yeah.
because there were a lot of purists of the book who were like, no, but the people who owned the rights were like, okay, you can write that and publish it. And like, I get it. Like, I get somebody looking at Alan Moore's original book and thinking that anything that comes out of that is a travesty to Moore's original story. And you're right. And I absolutely agree with
it's
you.
a travesty, but yeah, I know.
Shut
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Isn't necessary.
Yeah.
But look,
I know what you're
ultimately, I agree with you. I am more of a purist than I'm not. I would much rather not see prequels and shit like that and and retcons. And I would rather not.
Mm-hmm.
However, when they're done well enough, like for instance, Prey. Can't deny
Badlands
that.
looks dope.
You can't deny Prey was awesome.
Did you see that new trailer?
Prey is a reboot, is it not? Yeah. Of sorts.
I was literally going to say
I'm
we're going to go
saying-
see a third reboot of fucking Fantastic Four.
But here's the other thing. I don't think a lot of people hold Predator like in the high regards as like Star Wars or Watchmen or thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it depends on your fandom, but it's the same kind of thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, second reboot of Fantastic Four.
You're right. Third.
Well,
If you count the Roger,
this is the third version.
If you count, no, it's a fourth.
The
If you count
fake
Roger
fourth,
Corman,
the fake '90s movie.
Well, that was
Did you know they invited the cast to the premiere of that?
That's cool.
I was like, oh, like everybody that's played.
It's generally considered. Most people who've seen it, and I don't think I ever have. No, but most people who've seen it have said that it's better than the Josh Trank.
Well, fucking low bar. I could walk over.
No,
that.
I mean like they would have gone to see this in the theaters. Like it was good. It was hammy, but the thing about it is that most of the reviews I've read is that the people playing the parts like nailed their roles.
I heard that Pedro and Vanessa are very, very believable as Sue and Reed. Like they're a lot of chemistry on the screen.
Well, do you want to get into these Fantastic Four books? Because I
Before we
got a
do that-
confession.
Before we do that,
Yeah.
I want to take some time to point out the fucking cowards at Paramount. Because make no mistake, when you were looking at the eyes of Mango Mussolini, you took who...
Oh, I was like,
Trump.
who the fuck is... Hey, before we continue on that, did you notice that in the Absolute Flash logo, the S is 2 boomerangs?
I did notice that.
Okay. Fucking go.
I just wanted to make clear with the whole Colbert thing.
Mm.
You're fucking pussies. You're
Yeah.
fucking cowards. And
You think Frito-Lay has suffered our wrath? Fuck you, Paramount. Terry.
There's a Terry at Paramount, I bet.
The streaming channel doesn't have the capacity for a Frito-covered Cheeto, Terry. Frito-covered Cheeto? That sounds gross.
So stop. I wanna
Sorry.
hop up on onto a soapbox
Hang
here.
on, let me help you up there.
So the whole Colbert firing, here's my take on this. But yeah, here's why I'm calling you cowards and pussies. Because you are so desperate to merge with Skydance that you're willing to get rid of your most, like, the show that has the best ratings of all the late night show in a dying medium. You're going to completely kill that over $16 million and a merger? A legendary show that's been on TV for 3 fucking decades. You're going to toss that aside for him? For them?
Look, man, I ain't the first one to say this, so I'm not going to suffer any backlash because, again, I'm not the first one to say this. But Hitler, like Trump, had help. He didn't do it all himself. He had a lot of people going to bat for him. A lot of people with a lot of money.
Yeah, Zuckerberg, Bezos.
No, I was talking about Hitler, Ford,
No, I'm saying that's who Trump has now.
DuPont.
Yeah.
I'm saying like all these companies that we
Paramount.
still use
Yeah,
these
yeah.
days. Like Ford ought to come out and just be like, hey, by the way, we ought to kind of come clean on the fact that we supplied arms and Jeeps to the Nazi party and the army. Like, yeah, you should. Yeah, thank you for telling us that.
And I want to make it very
Jerks.
clear. I root for the failure of Paramount, not
Sure.
the people that work there, but the company itself, and Disney, and Amazon, and Warner, all of them. Because as far as I'm
eat the rich, man. Fuck them.
Because all
Fuck
you
'em.
do-
Fuck the
Because
rich.
can you stop?
Sorry. It's basically what you're saying.
I'm agreeing.
Okay.
I know, but I'm just like I'm trying to make a
I
point.
thought you wanted me to
I had
have
this
energy
I had
during
this
this
planned
bit.
out in my head.
Okay, I'll shut up.
All I'm saying is the only thing that they were good for is their pocketbooks, is their wallets, and they're not even good at that because Paramount is down so bad for money that they have to go to Skydance and hope and pray that they could do it. I really wish Skydance just backs out of this deal. So they did all this for nothing. Just to prove how stupid they are. Because make no mistake, everybody in positions of leadership at all of these corporations are fucking morons. And they have been for a long fucking time. Let's stop pretending that getting to that level has any bit of intelligence, because it's not. America has never been that.
Yeah, it's who you know.
America's never been a meritocracy. That's a fucking myth. It's always been nepotism and who you know. So you take Colbert and his show and everything and throw that away for him. So I pray for your failure. I hope for your failure. And you know what?
Dude, I can't believe not like Hulu isn't snapping him up to be like, hey, do your show here, man. Just fuck it. Do it here. I don't care.
He's probably going to either run for office or he's probably going to start a podcast and make a bunch of money there. But it's like, he'll be fine.
I would love it if he ran for office.
But it's just like Jon Stewart said, sack the fuck up. And do not cower and bow to this guy. All right, Tyler, before we get to... Anyway, fuck Paramount.
Fuck you, Paramount.
There's some interesting...
Oh, can you pause for 1 second? I'm sorry. I hate...
What?
I know.
After the success of Superman, we have heard some rumors coming out about possible new DCU projects.
Okay.
So 2 that I've kind of seen pop up in the last few weeks, or last week, I guess.
Is it the Plastic Man movie?
No, I wish.
Damn it!
I saw a thing saying, and I got some of this from Culture Crave. So they were talking about how DC has a patent for Mr. Terrific, or they've just had a new trademark for that. So they're thinking that's laying the groundwork for possibly doing an HBO Max series.
Cool.
Because Edie Gathegi is...
Edie Gathegi.
I've heard Edie.
Edie Gathegi.
Anyway, he is signed for multiple contracts, and so there's that rumor floating around. There's another rumored series that focuses on Jimmy Olsen, which would be focusing on the criminal underground or underworld of the DCU. Another rumor on top of that rumor is that Gorilla Grodd would make an appearance in the show. I don't... of those 2, I would much rather prefer a Mr. Terrific show, and I don't think there's any smoke to the fire of the Jimmy Olsen thing. Because James Gunn hasn't said anything about it, and I think he would be very upfront about something like that.
Yeah.
Especially how close to the vest he was holding Superman and Peacemaker and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't really buy the Jimmy Olsen one. Mr. Terrific is more believable, and I think a lot. I mean, everybody would want to see that.
Actually, could mine a lot of stuff out of that.
Sure. And
Jimmy Olsen, the underground. I don't give a shit. Hey, the joke is he's so hot.
You know what, man? I'll enjoy Jimmy Olsen in the next Superman movie.
Sure.
Like, I don't care to watch a show about Jimmy Olsen.
Nope.
But there might be some people out there, I guess, that are into that. But I would hate to see Gorilla Grodd show up there, because obviously I'd much rather see him with the Flash or something like that. The Mr. Terrific one would be pretty interesting, especially because I saw the rumor that they finished filming Lanterns.
Oh, yeah.
And because next is going to be Supergirl and Lanterns.
Yeah.
And
next year, right?
Next year, yeah, 26. And I am so fucking ready for both of them. Lanterns especially, because obviously if you've listened to this show, you know how much I love Green Lantern.
And we already saw how awesome
Guy Gardner
Fillion
was
as Guy Gardner.
And he's going to be in that show. He's going to be in Peacemaker, too. He's going to have a cameo there.
Awesome. Give me a Guy Gardner show, which is pretty much what Lanterns is.
Also, he said he's very...
as close as we're going to be to it.
And
also, he said what?
I think this is what's interesting, and I saw Dave Cornsweet talk about it, of the idea of we're going to see, like, he's like, he was saying that he wanted to see Superman be in an R-rated thing, like or interact with characters that would be like traditionally more of like an R-rated environment, and just to show that like you can blend those characters because they do it in the comics, and it's something that you can do, and if you have the right story and the right filmmakers.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I'm also saying to that, I think that'll be interesting to see like how Gary Gardner is going to adjust, because he's going to be not as foul-mouthed, but he's kind of brash in a PG-13 Superman movie. But then he's going to be showing up. I don't know. I know based on the trailer, he's probably going to have a cameo at the beginning of Peacemaker. He's probably going to be, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, you're going to see firsthand. Guy Gardner's going to be that first character that's going to be kind of bouncing around between tones and genres, and that'll be interesting to see. Because Nathan Fillion said it's the dirtiest, most foul-mouthed character he's played is what he does in Lantern. So I'm even more excited.
Cool.
So
MCU
finally, for that, Clayface got an update. Will be R-rated. It's a story of an actor that is disfigured and turns to science to cure himself. Currently is casting, and it's going to have roughly a budget of $45 million. So it's going to be more of like a low-budget kind of horror flick, which is really kind of a big swing for DC to do that pretty early. Gods and Monsters.
I guess. Whatever the fuck that means.
So, honestly, I would love to see a Mr. Terrific show.
Sure.
I can't fucking wait for Peacemaker. We're less than a month away from that.
Yeah, you said next year. We got Peacemaker coming up, you liar.
Sorry, I mean in 20. I meant to say in 26, the next big project.
All right, we done talking about the DCU now?
I'm not. DC fanboy number one. I want to. Anyway. Quickly jump into the MCU now. From the DCU to the MCU.
The DCU to the MCU.
So, obviously, Fantastic Four is, if you're listening to this when this comes out, Fantastic Four is coming out.
And we will be watching
it Sunday. Or if you're listening to it
Stay tuned
in the future. This was the premiere of Fantastic Four, First Steps, where we got some more details, a little bit on the future of the MCU.
You will see. You will hear us on Sunday. Doing our podcast review.
You don't need to do that. They know. They don't need to know. I'm just kidding.
Are we gonna have special guests?
I don't think so. It's gonna be late in the day. Okay. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sunday we plan to put up the review. Probably be up Sunday night, Monday morning.
I am fucking jazzed.
I'm sorry.
But
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
there
fuck
earlier.
you, dude.
I'm sorry.
I am really jazzed about it.
I am too. I can't wait.
I think because Superman was so good, I haven't really been thinking about it. In fact, I think it was when I was talking to you on the phone yesterday that I realized, oh shit, it's this Friday.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, you know how long I've been waiting for a Galactus?
Yeah.
Fuck. Man. A good Fantastic Four movie. Now, when we get to these, I got a confession to make. Don't forget. So, MCU news, you were talking about...
But yeah,
Feige.
So the premiere was this week, and yeah, Feige was also doing press for this, and of course he's asked kind of about what's coming for Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars and beyond. And he did not say the word reboot.
Oh no, he did not.
He said reset. But because he's like, what's a tricky word? But anyway, Kevin Feige confirmed to Variety that after Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, the MCU is in fact resetting, air quotes. Quote, we're utilizing that Secret Wars, not just that, referring to Secret Wars, not just to round out the stories we've been telling post-Endgame, just as importantly as you can look at the Secret Wars comics for where that takes you. It's very much sets up for the future. Of course, yeah, he's talking about it's all about, especially the most recent Secret Wars story is about how all these multiverses
is clearly
are
based
crash.
off of the most recent Secret Wars crossover, and the Secret Wars crossover
Secret Wars
was
2, right?
No, just Secret Wars.
They just call it Secret Wars.
Yeah. There was a Secret Wars 2 back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Which was really, really fun. Kind of bad though. Well, Beyonder became a human.
I think it was like 2018, 2019, something like that, right?
Not sure.
It was a few years ago.
But I can't remember what the impetus was, but somebody got a hold. Doom did something, and he created Battle World. And that was what the Secret Wars was, is that Battle World was this thing, and the heroes... Nobody knew what the original universe was like. They didn't even have any clues. And obviously, they eventually reset the multiverse to or the universe to what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it was a complete... He rearranged reality. Dr. Doom did. So, I don't know what this one world under Doom is or how that's supposed to be worse or better. You know what I mean? Like, what? But that's... The original Secret Wars was just... Beyonder brought all these different pieces of planets together to form Battle World. and then he just picked random villains and random heroes.
They fought because that was the first time they had done it.
If you slay your enemies, all that you desire shall be yours, is what he says to him. And so,
and this was the first like big crossover.
The villains were like, "Let's go kill him," and the two heroes were like, "We don't need to kill anybody."
Yeah. So the final bit of that quote is Feige says, "Endgame literally was about endings. Secret Wars is about beginnings." So yeah, it's the idea of we're gonna. And I feel like. I feel so validated.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because when they did all the with the Jonathan Majors stuff and how they had to redirect and all that stuff with Kang, like you and I both were like, okay, so Doomsday is gonna be this thing, and then we've both been saying for years that like they're gonna blow it all up with Secret Wars and restart.
Yeah,
and I think it's needed in a way of I think that they were already going this direction, and I think that they were already heading this way. But I think James Gunn going to DC and seeing that, okay, so DC is going to do a whole new universe and do that, I think Feige was like, okay, now we can lay the groundwork with this multiverse stuff to close the book on these past 20 years. Mm-hmm. That's with all this X-Men stuff. They, like we had all the stuff with No Way Home, this other stuff, you know what I mean? So, like this whole thing, I'll wrap it up what I'm saying, then you can go. Real quick. I don't know. I won't let you get your point.
Just wrap it up. Don't explain. Just fucking
no, I'm gonna. It's a great. They already did that with No Way Home. They already did that with Deadpool and Wolverine. Clearly, that's where they're going. It's more abundantly clear when they brought in Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and those.
Well, the point you got to remember is that RDJ was how old when they started this? 2008, right? Okay, now how old is he? Right? Look. These things are timeless because the characters never age if you don't want them to. I mean, these comic books are timeless because of that. And whether you like it or not, dude, I love Chris Evans as Captain America. But after 10 years, is he even able to do the stunts? Yeah. You know what I mean?
They're human beings.
Yes. You gotta be cognizant of that. And so I think, a 20-year, every 20, if God knows how long this planet's going to last, shit going the way it is. But every 20 years or so, hey, it's time for just a soft reset.
And people get older and there's generations.
You can bring people from this iteration into the new, like Anthony Mackie, and who else was I thinking of? Daredevil.
Charlie Cox.
I'm saying you can bring, but even Daredevil, dude, he's like 50. So at some point,
he's in his late 30s, I think.
No, he was in his late 30s when they did the first one. He's like 50 now. Yeah. Charlie Cox, he's old.
Oh yeah, because he used to run around with Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, he's old now. The point is you gotta be cognizant of that, and if you are, and again, you can bring like Tom Holland is probably going to survive into the next whatever, right? Because he's fairly young, and he can still play the role for another 5 years or so.
That's obviously why they went for Florence Pugh and they went for Haley Steinfeld. These actors, they're in their late 20s. They could still go. Yeah, obviously this is going to happen. And that's why, like we said, like that's your out. That's clearly where you're headed.
And that's fine. We don't mind.
And quite honestly, I what excites me about it, and what I love about it, and if they do this correctly, and I think, given what they could do with Endgame, I think they're going to do something similar here, where it's going to be done in a way that all those movies matter, but at the same time, you can still view them on their own, which is what we were already doing. But it's a cool way to give these characters, like they did that with No Way Home. They did that with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like they're gonna keep doing that, and then we're gonna be like, okay, boom, and then do it all over. I also saw another thing that came, because there's been a bunch of stuff coming out about the future of the MCU with Fantastic Four, with all this stuff. Yeah. They mentioned that Chris Hemsworth, they confirmed that he is the co-lead, like Thor is the co-lead of this story, and I'm like, okay, so
what story?
Doomsday, and so I'm like, okay, does that mean he's gonna go on his way? Because I can understand, because the guy can't keep doing that to his body. Even his wife is like, dude, chill out, you don't need to do this. Like we could just put muscles in the suit. But so I'm wondering if that's what they're gonna do with him too. I mean, why wouldn't they?
At some point, I mean, he's the last one, and I know Anthony Mackie is signed for another couple projects, but at some point, for him. Gosh. Dude, when they recast...
Why was Thor holding Deadpool?
When they recast... Oh, God.
Will that get answered?
No, that will not. It was a complete...
It's reused footage. I know. I'm joking.
No, I'm saying, like...
That was from Thor 2.
Yeah.
They just digitally put him in.
What about... fucking forgot what I was going to talk about. You fucker. Why was Thor holding?
Why was Thor? Well, I said, is this going to be the end of his story? Because he's one of the only holdovers from the original Avengers shit. Because like Renner's not, after Renner's accident, I don't really see him doing anything.
When that's it. When they recast a guy who died with a 90-year-old actor, Harrison Ford, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I don't think they have much planned with Red Hulk after that.
That's what I feel like. And when they did that, I was like, okay, well, there's not. This whole thing of the MCU is about to go away because they wrote themselves into corners with the Eternal in the planet. They're never going to do anything with that because
they did adamantium, but didn't really pay off.
I'm saying like that's all. Yeah. That's the only way they could figure out how to bring it back because they don't want to touch the Eternals again. They just don't. They're not going to. Maybe a show, but I doubt it. I think that they think with the reworkings that they could bring in the Inhumans and stuff and do it right and whatnot. Maybe. I don't know. But what I like to think is that, you just kind of understand that the last, like that, the end scene of Marvels, is that ever going to get wrapped up? And you know what?
Yeah, in Doomsday.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
She might come back from it, but there's not going to be any scenes of like that alternate. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I guess.
I think that's implying that she fell into the X-Men
universe. I guess so. Whatever.
Because that's Kelsey Grammer's in it.
Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, but what are the ramifications? Yeah, I see what you mean. Like,
what
does it matter? Because at the end of the day, is she going to be held over, or is it going to all?
Point is that I think there were a couple of times in Phase 1 that things were referenced and then taken away or never resolved.
Also, what the fuck are they going to do with Mephisto now?
You're totally right. I completely forgot that all these characters are in fucking Doomsday. All these actors, and that's why.
Yeah, there's so many you tend to forget.
Binary is binary is over in the.
Yeah.
It's binary, right?
Yeah.
Veronica. No, Pulsar. What's her name? I don't know.
I don't know. You brought it up.
It's Monica Rambeau's daughter, right?
So
who's over there, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, Mom, but it's binary. It's not Monica Rambeau.
She's not Captain Marvel.
Because Monica Rambeau is dead in the real year. Yeah, all right. Let's do this.
I killed her in the other one, too.
You.
All right. Before we get to... the Silver Surfer.
One last thing.
Motherfucker. What?
I just wanted to say that this is the way like you should do the movies and the universes and whatnot with comic books. Is understand that your audience, if you're looking for mainstream appeal, you're gonna get it one way or another, and you're smart enough to get that. But you should also understand that the reason why these things are still around and so popular is because of the fans, the people who love this stuff. And be good to them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Be good to them and give them credit for having brains and let them and
yeah. And
help.
like
They can understand that like Batman might not be, Robert Pattinson Batman might not be in James Gunn's DCU. But that's okay that they both exist.
It's also worth pointing out they've also said that Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is going to kind of like lead the team in Doomsday. Another thing,
interesting.
Pointing out when Feige said he was doing a reset, he did mention recasting Tony Stark because you have to.
Yeah,
they joke about Hugh Jackman doing it till he's 90, but they're gonna have to recast Wolverine.
Another RDJ
at some point.
I was talking to a dude about another guy who was confounded why they would cast RDJ as Doom, and I'm like, guys, you got to understand. They're not going to show his face. If they show flashbacks, they'll use a different actor. He's not going to talk like Tony Stark in a fucking suit.
Hey, Reed, I'm
what's up?
I'm Dr. Doom.
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and stick that in your craw, and then we'll go ahead and take a fast one down the
Did you
coast.
know I am the ruler of Latveria, not Latvia. Latveria.
Do you know I'm ruler of Latveria? I'm kind of big on horror and the occult.
Did you know I'm also a sorcerer?
I love how you turn into a big giant green roid monster. What's your secret? Big bag of weed? Hey, thing. You know what I mean? Like
When did Victor? Okay, you and I have.
Hey, Reed. Who is wearing the bright spangly costume in this?
All right, so before we,
You want me to put on the suit?
will you shut the? You're right. Do that. I would really hate Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Doom, you suck.
Hey, Reed, you're a bitch. Nothing clever for you.
You know what? Fuck you, bro.
Stretch this. And he just flips him off.
Giggles.
I'm selling myself on it.
I'm ready for it. Let's do it. Tony Stark Doom.
Yeah, I know. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Silver Surfer origin and like the retro books, let's talk. Can I talk about
I
a?
don't fucking know.
I just had a stroke.
Oh.
About a more modern comic involving a member of the Fantastic Four, The Thing #1 by Tony Fleecs, I think, Fleecs. I'm thinking Flex. And Justin Mason. If I mispronounce the name, I apologize.
So the cover is by Nick Bradshaw, who is one of my favorite comic book artists. He's
It's a nice cover.
fantastic. The artwork inside doesn't match, and I fucking hate that.
Really? It's not that bad.
I hate it.
I think the art looks kind of...
I don't dig on it.
You don't like it?
It's not my favorite art, but the main thing is that I'm upset, and I knew from looking at the cover that Bradshaw was not the artist. I knew that.
You know what I hate?
But I wanted to read something that was different and new, and sometimes Thing books are good. Some guy did a thing, like a team up thing, where he was beating up a bunch of different guys. Do you remember that? Did you read those? I'll bring him over sometime.
Well,
It was called Clobbering Time.
I gotta say,
Steve Scroach. Anyway,
I was actually more interested in the idea, and I hate to admit this, that I'm such a I bitch about corporations and advertising.
yeah, you do.
But I'm bad.
Why don't you
because-
marry him? You really want him?
I'm part of the problem because I open this book up and I see Ryan North, Fantastic Four #1. I'll read that. It's a #1. Fucking fool. I bet you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna open it up and it's like, well, you should have read the last 20 issues of Fantastic Four, you dumb fuck.
You should have read the previous 3
it
volumes.
says #1, but it's really number 67 in this fucking saga.
Duh.
Dumbass.
This is stuff from the 80s.
You should know.
Being wrapped up just now.
So
What you're reading right now will be wrapped up 70 years from now.
this book, The Thing, is interesting in a way that it's kind of basic.
It's a story about the Thing going back to his childhood and having to help his bully.
Yeah, because his sister's missing.
It's a character-driven story. That's fine, but I'm looking for fucking. Look
He
at the
fights
cover.
Gladiator
Look
in
at
a
the
bar.
cover.
Yeah. I thought he was just going to be beating up a bunch of people. That's
Thank
what,
you. Thank you. Thank
I
you very
agree.
much. Thank you very
I
much.
agree.
So, bad marketing, not the creator's fault.
No.
I don't mind the art. It's just not my favorite. There is good parts. There's good parts where there's fight
Like
scenes.
the bar
they do
fight
the
between him
yeah.
and Gladiator's fun.
And yeah, I bought the first 2 issues, I think. But it's just not my style, and I'm not looking for really a character-driven arc about the Thing. I already know the Thing is a sweet, ever-loving, blue-eyed thing. I don't need to know any more than that. I already know he's awesome. I don't need a whole 5-issue or 4-issue. Although that cover,
Oh, the bullseye cover is pretty great.
that's
So the story ends with
there is a neat part
There's
in
a
number
hit.
in number 2. He does fight Bullseye, and the only way that Bullseye can get him is by throwing razor blades at his gums. Because that's the only way you can get the Thing. If you're
his eyeballs are his gums. I
he
guess.
tries to get his eyeballs too. But yeah, it's funny because it's just like, oh yeah, because he's like, you son of a, and he's like, well, that's the only way I can hurt you, and he's like, yeah, I guess, dick.
All right. So I mean, it's a pretty basic story. Yeah, he's trying to, but it's interesting because I guess it sets up what we were kind of hoping it was going to be, which is all these hitmen are going after the Thing, and he's just beating people up. It's like, well, why didn't you just do that?
Again, they did
in the
it.
first issue.
They did a miniseries called Clobbering Time. I'm surprised you never read it. I'll have to bring it over. But it was this guy Steve Scroach did Scroce or Scroachy. But he's a comic book artist writer, and he wrote and drew it. And it's basically him. Like every issue, he beats up like another guy, and it's funny. It's funny, and it's a lot. It's very Daniel Warren Johnson, and you know what I was talking about. The guy who did the
Yeah,
Beta
what I
Ray
meant.
Bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's drawing the Absolute Batman annual.
The fanfare that I brought you, the Fantastic Four fanfare, in the next issue, Daniel Warren Johnson does a story about the Thing when he was a pro wrestler. Can't fucking
That's awesome.
wait.
That man loves to draw a powerbomb.
Right? And he's good at it.
Yeah. So, yeah, the 3 books that we have before us are Fantastic Four, number 48 through 50.
Volume 1,
Yeah.
1966.
The original. Written by Stan Lee, drawn by Jack Kirby, which arguably, yeah, as you and I had talked, based on the history of Stan Lee, you could argue that Jack Kirby was the co-writer and the artist, but, you know, I think that's true.
I think we can say Fantastic Four, number 48 through 50, by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
At the very least. And
just
I
leave
make
it at
sure,
that.
Look, I make sure always when we do books, when we put them in the in the comments and things like, or put them in the description and things, make sure I always say "and," because no matter what, unless they're drawing and writing, it's a collaborative effort. So there's a lot of people that work on a book. So yeah, at the very least, you can say by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So interesting backstory to this. I, with you, have not read the origin of the Silver Surfer until doing this for the show.
You and I, if I'm not mistaken, we did review Fantastic Four number 1, did we not? The reprint?
I don't know.
You don't remember
We had
that?
talked about it, I think, but I don't. Or we had mentioned maybe.
Have you ever read that?
No.
Okay, so
Fighting the Mole Man?
Fantastic Four number 1 is way more basic than you might think. Like, I don't even think they have suits. You know what I mean? Like, they're just fighting in
Yeah.
clothes, you know? But so by 48, they had Fantastic Four was a phenomenon. Like, they sold out every month, whatever. So they had hit their stride well before this, and Kirby and Lee were they knew what they wanted and they knew what to do. And so how do we, if I remember correctly reading about it, how do we step up these things against the Fantastic Four because they've beaten everybody so far? How do we top this guy or that guy or that guy? Okay. How about a guy that eats planets and he wants to eat the earth? And that's where it started. Like a lot of this stuff, like
Yeah.
if you watch, there's a Stan Lee documentary, and it's basically his writings, and it's kind of claymation with people that knew him, with interviews with people that he knew him, but then it's like his writings, and then they have like claymation, like when he was a kid, and also when he was in the bullpen. And a lot of how these comics were created was that these guys were all working jobs to make sure that they could fucking take care of their shit, their wives and family and whatever, right? Pay the car, all that crap. They had jobs. And so they realized, well, this is going away. Like Spider-Man was like, this is going to get canceled anyway, so I'm going to throw this into this book. And they can't fire me because it's getting canceled, whatever. And da-da-da-da. So a lot of these stories were just 5 or 6 guys, including these two and Ditko, and then there's some other guys. Roy Thomas maybe not that early, but these guys were just sitting around throwing ideas around, and then they would fucking coalesce into other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which was why like Secret Wars was the big deal, because that was the first crossover between all
right.
of it.
But Stan Lee has talked about that, how he didn't come up with everything on his own. Like there was brainstorming sessions. But it's just kind of neat that, like, I love the idea that, like, it was, like, 6 dudes, like, drinking scotch. And, like, how about if he eats planets? Like, oh, that's good, man.
So,
oh, fucking yeah.
This is equally introduces Silver Surfer and Galactus, because you can't really have one without the other.
Can't have
they're tied together.
They're tied together.
So, yeah, we
Peaches
see
and cream.
this book starts off with the Fantastic Four coming back to Earth after they fight with the Inhumans, because Maximus...
Oh, the first part is great, because it's like you get to see...
So I texted you about these books when I was reading them today, right? And
You didn't like the Inhuman stuff?
Okay.
Wow.
So when I texted you
Tainted by the TV show, aren't
about the... tainted by Marvel's disrespect of the Inhumans for the last decade or so.
No shit.
It's just like, this is when I texted you and I'm like, look, I think it's important to read these books, but like, man. And you're like, yeah, they're wordy as fuck. But I'm like, yeah, you're shitting me. You like.
Why do you think I love Black Bolt so much in these books? He never says shit.
Because there's so many times reading these 3 issues, I'm like, Stan, just write a dang book. Is what I kept thinking. Like, why didn't you just write a book? And obviously, it worked out because he was Stan Lee.
Well, you know what? It seems to have worked out for him.
But I get when you understand, and you're kind of what you put it really well in the text, where you're like, yeah, when you're familiar with these characters, and you read these comics, it is like, bleh, whatever. I already know this stuff. Let's get to it, and it's very wordy, and it's true because Stan Lee had that mentality. It's everybody's first issue.
Yes.
So he has to put all this backstory in to freshen you up.
Not necessarily.
And I'll be quite honest
all this
with
backstory.
You. That's the first caption of this issue 48 was actually good enough. I was like, cool. That's where we're at. They're wrapping up this Inhuman shit, and we're gonna lead that into the Silver Surfer.
I will say the way that this saga starts and ends is bunky as shit. It's like
it's how it was written at that time. Yeah.
Why would you start with like 5 pages wrapping up the previous story, and then the last 17 pages is the start of a new one?
Not even. These are only 20 pages. These aren't 22 pages. These are only 20.
I have no idea.
Yeah, according to these numbers.
I thought they were always 22.
See, there's little numbers on them.
I thought they were always 22. Did you go to the end yet? So how do you know?
I'll just flip to the
Yeah, you fuck.
18, 19.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet, are
20.
we? Yeah, well, yeah. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
That's it.
No, there's more numbers.
No, that's all the letter pages and fake or the old ads.
Whatever.
I
want to get that record.
So, couple things. So, we see the Silver Surfer get introduced as like this soaring figure through the space, and you see like a reference with like Skrulls seeing him, like, oh, we got to get the fuck out of here because it's not the Silver Surfer you got to worry about. It's Galactus. And I was like, okay, this is fun. Like, and like you and I were talking about.
If you don't even know who that is, you're like, what the fuck is
that's
this?
Good.
And it's the 60s? You're just like, whoa.
Wait, this guy looks cool, and like we're not supposed to be even scared of
surfing
this guy?
Was a big deal.
A bigger guy? Yeah.
Of course they're appealing to the kids.
So then we cut back to Earth, and then like there's the fire in the sky, and that's how we get introduced to the Silver Surfer. He shows up, and then this was another thing that I'm like, oh, why is the Watcher? Is it Uatu? Uatu's on the cover. Oh, because he's involved in the story.
He's a big part of this story.
And he intervenes, and he's like, I can't technically do anything, but I'm going to guide you through this because you will not beat him.
I can put rocks all around the Earth so he can't see you, but here comes the Silver Surfer anyway. Shit.
Again, as much as I want to say, like, when I texted you...
I tried, you guys.
When I texted you about it when I wasn't really vibing with it, you and I have had this conversation with the Absolute DC books where it's like, you almost... There is that idea like, okay, you should hook me in the first issue. But then there's also that feeling like sometimes you need like 2 issues to really kind of understand or feel the pace and understand the style of the writer. Because I have never read it. Full disclosure, I have never read a Stan Lee book.
See, that's
Stan Lee Kirby book.
That's where I think it's
Jack
important that you do, because you honestly start to appreciate the books you read today more, don't you?
Well,
because you're like, it's a different style, and
I'm
glad that they aren't like this anymore.
And it is fun.
And you can appreciate.
Yeah, and it's fun to be on the ground floor and read actually
Plus
read.
the ads are fucking sweet. X-ray specs.
To read the true
fucking
origin of
Poems Wanted. Sorry.
To read a full amazing X-ray vision.
Go ahead.
Poems Wanted.
Yeah.
To see like the beginning of this iconic character in Marvel's lore, to just like see that character actually legitimately for the first time be introduced. And like you said, it does feel like they really were very much like any creative artistic project you've loved. I want you to understand that is well planned out as things are. A lot of this shit is barely held together.
Mm-hmm.
And especially how clunky these 3 issues are. Like, Honestly, the second issue is the best one because that is where Stan knows what he wants with this, and he's like, okay, this is the story. This is what we're doing, and this is how I'm going to tell this story. But just like you said, how this issue starts and how the last issue ends, you're like, what the fuck?
You couldn't have planned that a little better.
And that's
like, why didn't you make number 50 a double-sized issue?
I want to make. You made a good point too when you were going back and forth with me talking about it, where you're like, it is not timeless. That is the mistake people make. I think
it is and it isn't.
Yes, I think people give this shit too much flack than it deserves because it was written in this time.
But I also think people think too much of it sometimes.
Right. I think
like,
there's
it is the fucking holy fucking grail. It's Lee and Kirby. I'm like, all right,
I will say this.
Back off.
I texted you when I read the third one and I finished it up. I said, honestly, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining.
There's
read.
some serious stands out there, man. Get it?
Good God, were they like?
Look, he's not even drawing. What is this?
It's just, I didn't know what the fuck that was.
Did you ever see the first appearance of Ego is a big paper mache thing that he photographed and then superimposed a face on.
Well, there's
shit.
And there's just okay.
It's like Kirby. Oh, what were you doing?
And this is another thing that I love when you want to talk about why people fell in love with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Marvel. It's because of I will give him props. I said that I can appreciate his cultural impact and what he's done, and I just don't appreciate his writing. But then as I read it more, I'm like, okay, I finally started to jive and understand his pace and kind of see what he was doing for the most part. And then it kind of was like, what? And some of these examples, I'm like, let the image speak for itself.
Sure.
And they did. And again, it's of that time where a lot of these writers, they were like, okay, yeah, but I got to get a lot of this information out because I don't know because it does feel like it at this time was written for kids.
There's no secondary comic market at this point.
Right.
You got to understand. So as far as they know, people are buying them, reading them, and throwing them away. As far as they know, nobody's holding these issues and going, hey, in
Everybody's
issue
first
6,
issue.
Everybody's first. But then they start getting letters and they're like, oh, shit, maybe we had better. So even at this point, 3 years into the whole Marvel experiment, or was it 61? I don't know, whatever. But however many years it was into the Marvel experiment, they started realizing, like, we got to have some kind of continuity. So that's why they started thinking about, having those stories like that. But here's the way I would put it to you.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Say you love the new Fantastic Four movie and you don't even know who they are, right? And you go and you pick up the newest issue of the Fantastic Four fresh off the newsstands and you're like, man, I fucking love this, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, right? Okay. Put that in another realm. I love Queens of the Stone Age, right? They're one of my favorite fucking bands of all time. Of all time. Now, they've been around for a while. But when people first started jumping on, they were like, oh, this is really good. Well, hey, let me recommend this to you. Fucking Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know that you love this current Fantastic Four and this style of writing and this style of art, but can I borrow that for a moment?
Yeah. I want to make a point about
Please
this
do. And then when you're done,
particular And I'm glad, and I'm not like upset or anything. Like, again,
no, I love having this discussion about it.
I did enjoy reading it,
because
it was nice to actually see him or experience. And like you said, it was cool that they re-release these or reprint these old issues.
Yeah,
because it is cool to read Stan Lee and see the art of Jack Kirby.
I can't afford an actual number 48 Fantastic Four. Fuck no,
fuck
and
that.
I wouldn't fucking read it if I could.
Yeah, I'd stay in a fucking case.
Yeah. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, but it's good to see him read his work in his prime.
But
there's sometimes when I'm like, again, there's a panel of a fucking brown sphere. That should be enough for you to understand it's a fucking brown sphere. But I swear, I joke where I was like, okay, so clearly it's written. They understand there's a younger.
Sure.
Kids are reading.
No, but
this.
You said that you thought he was
either he thinks you're stupid or he thinks you're a kid.
Sure, maybe a little. I think it's more a kid, but go ahead.
Yes.
Read the.
I think it's more of the kid.
Read
thing.
the caption, please.
Can I read it like he would?
Absolutely.
Moments later.
Yeah, of course.
Moments later, back in their chartered jet, once more the heavy-hearted foursome fly over a strange and impregnable. You can't fuck it. No, it says right here, parentheses, you can't fuck it.
Whoa, Stan.
Sorry. A dome-shaped barrier. A barrier which slowly sinks lower and lower into the ground until at last it'd be lost from sight, but never from the memories of the Fantastic Four.
Give it here.
I hate to be nitpicky, but it's like, Stan, Bubby, and again, it is of its time, and that's what I'm also making the joke about this too, because now in a modern comic book, that they would just show a close-up of that, it would be like a small panel, and they'd move on to the next thing, because they're like, I only have 22 pages to get this story out, so I'm going to put panels on, like, there's different ways to structure, because of this, look at this book, dude, so many pages are 6-panel page layouts.
Sure.
Or 3-panel, and then there's a splash, you know what I mean? But because they had to do a certain way to print it, and that's why I loved reading it on that side of things too. And I think it's fun to do these retro books because it is fun to be like, this is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in their prime. This is Marvel in their prime.
Same fucking bit, and I will counter your argument with this. Black Bolt can't speak.
Yes.
So Maximus is trying to goad him, and he's like, and when our people learn that I was I who gave them dominion over Earth, they will tear that crown from your head and restore it to Maximus. Now, yes, I was born to rule. And he's just standing there. First of all, I want to make sure that you understand, look at this. You're looking at all of this through the lens of current comics or comics from the 90s on, right? Now, what you got to understand is nobody drew like this back then.
Yeah.
This kind of dynamism and just like this stuff, and this part is cool. For the space of a dozen heartbeats, Black Bolt stands motionless, staring at the man who chortles before him, as though seeing him for the first time. And then in a gesture of abject loathing, of sheer contempt, he strikes. Thack! Yeah. That's fucking book right there. Hang on. Oh. No, the last one I wanted to show you was, again, like this type of stuff, this was never done before. So, it's rightly understood that Kirby was the first and the best, largely, and there are people who've come afterwards who I think are better, but they're standing on his shoulders, whether they like it or not.
And I also want to be clear, there's other times I'm like, yeah, Stan Lee wasn't a bad writer.
No.
And I
he was
never
a little hammy. But I liked that.
Yeah. And it's very much, but I want to talk about the end here.
All right.
Again, proof. As much as you think this shit's planned out, it's not. Because Galactus' outfit drastically changes in between issues with no explanation. So
also, it's completely different nowadays.
Yeah. And then
he's Santa Claus?
But not this.
Red and green.
He shows up like it's fucking Christmas. He really does. I am the Grinch. Give me your presents.
No, what does he
and
really
your
say?
planets.
What does he really say?
My journey is ended. This planet shall sustain me until it has been drained of all elemental life. So speaks Galactus.
Yeah! Oh, I eat that shit up.
See, again, this is where I'm like, all right.
So speaks Galactus. Ah, yeah,
again,
dude.
Props to Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Because this whole issue did a really, really solid job of world building and making you be like, again,
I'm gonna start a fight right now.
Again,
so
if I didn't
hyped right now. Sorry.
If I didn't know who Galactus was, if I were reading it at that time, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, who's this guy?
Whoa,
he's gigantic."
Whoa.
So speaks Galactus.
Yeah.
And you have to say it like that. He's got a big booming.
I can't
voice.
wait to hear what he sounds like.
He's gonna be so awesome in that movie because he has I saw that I didn't see anything, but I've heard that there's a scene where he has these big glowing eyes in the horizon. I'm like, oh fuck yeah!
Okay, so one of the things before we get into this, and I don't think they show. I don't think it's. It came later on in his development as a character, but more often than not, you see Galactus's eyeballs when he has his helmet on.
Yeah.
His irises are square shaped and blue, but I really hope they maintain that. If they don't, it's fine because it might look goofy. You know what I mean?
So so we go from the Santa Claus looking outfit to the very next issue, going to his more kind of traditional because it's
purple is general.
His purple
color,
and then
navy and purple,
red, but it's more of a black now.
He's kind of gotten rid of the giant G on his chest. That's for
Galactus. Time out. Can we also talk? Let's give a round of applause here to Jack Kirby because that helmet design is still fucking iconic. Man.
Yeah!
It's such an awesome helmet. It's so big and stupid and ridiculous.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Have you read his Thor stuff, man? Like those Asgardian helmets? Like, holy shit.
Well,
You're like, what kind of crack were you smoking, Jack?
Well, dude, the new gods. All the new gods.
Oh, my
shit.
God. Yeah.
It's fucking,
Yeah. Dude, let's go start a fight,
dude,
man.
you know who I love? Big, what was it? Big
Let's go get trashed.
Isn't it Big Berta?
Big Barda.
Big Barda.
Mr. Miracle's wife.
Big Barda. Step on me. Anyway.
I want you to hurt me, Big Barda.
That's what Mr. Miracle be saying. So then we see how big Galactus really is.
Like, well, they also, if you read
He's
it,
right next
they,
to the
right,
Watcher.
but if you read it, they reveal. And by the way, why is the Watcher like huge?
Also, this pose is interesting.
Right, but they do reference in the very first time that this first saga of Galactus.
Yeah, he's not
that-
nearly as big as he becomes later.
But he can change his size.
Yeah.
So even for those of you who are crying foul at first steps, because I've heard that he does change size. He's changes variable
he's done
size.
it in the comics.
He started doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because he shrinks in this issue.
He's shown himself to be, he can be as big as a planet or he can be as big as a regular dude.
And why couldn't he?
He's cosmic,
Are
dude.
you get the fuck outside your mind, all right? Would you? You're literally complaining and playing semantics about a fucking planet-eating god. Shut up. Shut up. So sick of this shit.
Have you seen his helmet?
Do you know what? Go fucking stare at paint. Have some fucking
Or snort some
Yeah.
more. Shit.
Have some fucking fun in your life, you
Eat some
lunatic.
more paint.
Seriously, if someone says that, punch them in the mouth. No,
Why are we so hyped?
no, don't.
We're so pumped for this fucking Galactus shit.
No, because I want to see that big ass helmet.
Fuck it, we're buying the popcorn bucket.
That's a drop. Yeah, we manipulated ourselves.
We talked ourselves into it. Fuck.
Hey man, we're gonna have the recliners. Might as well get this big
Shit.
fucking helmet. I'll bring my Venom head. Capitalism. So the second issue, we kind of. So I want to also mention how I knew this story without knowing it, because obviously I knew about Silver Surfer showing up and Galactus. Like that's just been in and it goes back to the whole thing of like, if you never read a comic, this would be like, whoa. I know too much, right? But
Sure.
I did not realize. Do you remember a book back in the day called called Marvels?
Yeah, kind of.
That was like it dealt with this event from the perspective of journalists, like on the ground,
Uh-uh.
and then they made it into like an audio, like a scripted podcast, and it deals with it. It's actually really cool, and I think you'd actually like it a lot. But. So I kind of knew about this. So essentially what Galactus is doing, he's building this big giant thing
On top of the Baxter building.
suck up all of the water on the planet to dry us out, essentially, and then take everything
Right.
and turn it to pure energy and absorb it, because that's how he eats. And
At this
whatnot.
point in the comics, yes, it is much more refined. But in the beginning, he was just trying to take our water. And then,
yeah, it's not what it is now, obviously.
it was very... Galactus was a basic bitch to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So... Funny enough, and this again, Stan. Sometimes I love how he pokes. I think he's poking fun at himself.
I don't know, but you got to read it like him.
Yeah, but I mean, like I think he's in on it, and he doesn't take this too seriously.
No, of course
because
not.
he really literally writes here. Truly, the workings of fate are strange.
You can do better.
Says
than
the
that.
guy writing.
You
this.
can do better than that.
Surely the work.
Come on.
I don't even. What the fuck do you want from
Brooklyn.
me?
You did it so well the first time.
Truly, the workings of fate are strange. Strangely unfathomable. Fathomable. It's hard to do in this voice. For the studio in which the gleaming stranger has fallen, belonging to the Alicia Masters, the blind sculptor of the beloved Ben Grimm. I think Stan is having a little fun with himself. Just being like, okay.
I fucking love it.
He's being like, okay, I get it. It is kind of like fucking convenient that he falls in here, and I'll even make fun of myself for that. And it's like, again, reading this makes me like, okay, I have more reverence. I started disliking this, and then I ended up liking it and have more reverence let me finish. I had more reverence for Stan Lee after reading this, because he really didn't take himself that serious. He had fun and poked fun at himself, and like it. It's a silly book.
He just wanted people to have
It's fun.
fun.
It's silly. It's enjoyable. It's what comics should be. Yeah.
Yes. It's what Marvel sometimes isn't these days.
That's why everybody loves James Gunn's Superman, because it's bright and fun, and I'm going to talk about it until I die because I love that movie. But anyway.
No, but Stan, like, there's a reverence for him because he was so affable about what he did. Not only did he not take it that seriously, but I don't know, there was just a way about him, and the way you read these 3 issues and you really start to understand the way that he wrote. You kind of have to read multiple issues of Stan Lee to understand that. You can't read like snippets.
Like I said,
or a couple
it took
pages.
a little bit for me to get into it.
But then once you do, you kind of love it.
Yeah.
Because there's a rhythm to it, like his dialogue coupled with, and then when you understand that basically what happened was he would say like, "Hey Kirby, do a couple pages like this," and then Kirby would come back and he'd be like, "Well, what the fuck do I put in this panel? I don't know what he drew here. I'm just gonna write some shit or whatever and try to make it." You know what I mean? Yeah. When you understand how these books were made, and then you understand the personality of Stan Lee through his writing, you begin to understand why so many comic people love him and love Jack Kirby. Because it's fun. This dumb shit where Johnny Storm has to go race across the other side of the universe.
Hey, want to point this out. Want to point this out that these guys didn't plan this shit.
No.
One of Galactus' henchmen is called the Punisher.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever mentioned or brought up ever again.
No,
but there's the Punisher.
He is not.
In this book. And then they're like, they won't remember. Put a skull on him and make him shoot at him.
Great fucking shit. Make him shoot at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a rifle.
Because you know when you're when you're sitting at home and you see a fucking spider and you want to just take out a Glock and fucking you turn into a bug. God, that got away from me.
What did you turn into there?
Fucking Matt Damon. Fucking bug? Who the fuck? Sorry, arachnid? Who the fuck are you?
You sound like Adam Sandler doing an old man voice. Hey there, buddy.
Adam Sandler does Stanley. Hey, boop, I'm Stanley.
Dude. Adam Sandler's next project. Fucking Stanley biopic, dude. Come on.
What was the point I was making?
He's got the accent.
Before I went.
You were talking. You were talking about how you were talking about the Punisher.
Yeah. But fucking ass. I wanted to talk about this in the last issue, but I didn't get a chance to mention it, and I want to talk about it a bit in the next issue. Another reason I think people love his work and talk about why they felt like they chose Marvel a lot over DC is because they touch on in the last issue. Is Reed and Sue having marital problems? That's a relatable thing. It's kind of a caricature of it as it is, because again, Stan's kind of writing for younger audiences a little bit.
Well, also like Ben and Johnny don't get along at all.
No. I know you're mad at me, but you can't stay with your inhuman girlfriend. We got to get out of here. And Johnny's like, I'll stay.
But there's love.
Also, I gotta say, you can clearly tell who his favorites are too, because the Thing is fucking funny in these books. I actually enjoyed the Thing's dialogue.
Thing is,
as dated as his dialogue is, it's fun
because he's such a dork.
Because he's me. I'll tell you what. The more I've read this, I'm like, why haven't I read the Thing more? Because I identify with this big rock more than a lot of them. Because he points out how stupid this all is and how ridiculous it all is. Because she was like, "Can you ever take anything seriously?" He's like, "Oh, we gotta deal with it." He's the one being like, "I'm sorry, lady. There's a giant alien man."
Are you fucking kidding me, Sue?
Normally, I could just.
What are you, stupid?
Where'd you go? I can't see you.
Oh, she tried it. That's how you end every fucking argument, Susie. That's how you end every fucking argument. You just turn invisible. Why are we? You don't need to see First Steps. Just listen to this.
It went from Fantastic Four, the fucking comic book, to a New
Love
York
Island.
City drama about the Fantastic Four.
Who would think you? Who would you
It's
think?
not my problem. Revote.
Hey.
Fuck you, Sue.
Hey.
It ain't my problem.
Hey, my problem.
I'll clobber you.
Get at it. So okay. Anyway, so while
Time
Johnny
out.
Storm.
Quick question. Hypothetically,
I want to kind of finish up the
if
story.
the thing were to fall off the top of a building,
Mm.
would the debris be rocks, or would it be rocks and his blood and guts? Because he's still a human in there.
Yeah.
'Cause isn't the rock just his
kind
skin?
of, but no. No, he's
He would just be
super.
a pile of rocks.
He's superhumanly.
I know he has super strength.
It's
and
generally
durability
it's
and all that.
generally considered that most of his inner organs have been transformed and or shrunk,
Yeah.
or mutated to such a point that he's
just
pretty
rock.
much mostly rock.
Living rock.
Yes.
Yeah. So to wrap up this
So, but
issue,
wrap it up.
Ben's girlfriend
Alicia Masters helps
talks Silver Surfer's
him understand about humanity, and then Johnny Storm has to go and get this ultimate
ask you a
weapon
question?
because the Watcher tells him to. Sure.
Do you think this is meant to trigger emotion?
What?
Like sometimes they randomly have different colored
What
bubbles,
part?
speech bubbles. Like
Oh.
when she's like pleading to him, it's yellow,
No.
and then this is yellow, but she doesn't always have yellow speech.
I don't
bubbles.
think so. I don't know
And then
why they
it's
do
red
that.
when he's
yeah,
like-
I don't think so. Not,
think they were
not that
just-
I know of. I just
Maybe,
I don't
know.
maybe.
Weird.
But so Johnny Storm has to go get this thing, and
Yeah, the Watcher guides him to the other side
at
of
the
the
end
universe.
of this issue, Silver Surfer decides to battle back against Galactus because he has been convinced by Alicia Masters. And by the way that this number 50 ends with Ben and Alicia is fucking heartbreaking, dude.
I got some thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, buddy.
I don't think I've mentioned this enough.
But
because we've been talking a lot about Stan Lee's. Excuse me. We talk a lot about Stan Lee's writing. I want to talk about Kirby's art.
Mm.
I don't think we touch on it enough. The Silver Surfer looks so good.
Yeah.
Honestly, his art,
It's dynamic.
It really holds. I think a lot of the color. Maybe they changed. Maybe they made more to the colors when they reprinted them. I don't know. But
they
it pops.
tried to
It's
keep
still-
them as close as they could.
just like that John Byrne Superman book I was talking about when we did it. Like
Yeah.
good art will always pop on that page, and I think even with these books, I think the art still shines through greatly. And again, I see why people were so invested in these books when they were coming out. Because of how gorgeous they look. And
Well,
how-
there's this
how
part where
relatable the
he
books
starts
are.
fighting against Galactus, Silver Surfer, and of course he's just outmatched.
Shooting
And he's like,
fucking beams.
"And now, rebellious one, it is time I teach you the folly of daring to question the will of your master."
That's when, because you said Stan Lee thought he was Shakespearean.
Well,
but
no.
it's like comic books, like
Yeah.
it can feel that way.
But
that shit is what I'm
I'm
talking
trying to
about.
fucking hold up your goddamn argument. Shut up. And in a thought bubble, Norrin Rad, Silver Surfer, is like, blasts of solar destructogen. But surely he knows how easily I can avoid them.
That's what I mean. All these characters have so many inner thoughts, and I'm like, I don't need to hear every thought, Stan. You know
Right,
what I
yeah.
mean?
No, yeah. But so eventually Johnny brings back, this is what's dumb. This is the first 10 pages. Johnny brings back the ultimate nullifier. And
Let's talk about that.
this is a very famous panel right here where he's holding up the fucking No, it's a gun. You see it? He's got a trigger and everything. You not see it? Look at it close. It's one of the most famous artifacts in the Marvel universe.
Yes.
It's ultimate
All
nullifier.
facts of the Marvel.
It looks like
it's
a
real
fucked up.
thing.
It looks like a fucked up lighter.
Can I talk about this?
And the ultimate nullifier in the hands of a human in the name of the eternal cosmos. And literally, he says, "I will leave this planet as long as you give me that back because you don't know what the fuck you're touching." He does. He does. He's like, "Hey, I will leave, but you got to give me that because you're fucking stupid. You're a human. Humans are stupid."
Again,
So
you want to talk about throwing shit together.
then he leaves.
That name was thrown together.
And he traps Norrin Rad on
Stan-
Earth forever.
Stan, I'm wrapping it up here, but what are we going to call this thing that he's holding up at Galactus? I forget. I got a name for it. Nullifier. Because this nullifies any creativity in this fucking story. Because how can you defend the ultimate nullifier? Or the nullifier? Okay? It's just a device. It's just a device that ends all things, and even Galactus is scared of it. Well, come on. I'm just saying, I was frustrated by this book. Because I actually ended up enjoying it, and then it gets clunky as shit at the end.
Well, the problem is that the first 10 pages end the saga of the Silver Surfer, basically.
Yeah, and then all this other... I stopped reading it after that, because I'm like, I don't care. But this is the thing. You can tell this stuff wasn't planned out. So I'm just memeing. The nullifier legitimately made me laugh because I'm like, again, Stan's being okay. That's funny. That's funny that we're gonna make this whole device just be like,
How about the ultimate nullifier?
it's called the nullifier, and we'll move on. Fuck off, Jack. But Stan, I don't. Jack, are you gonna do this bump with me or not?
Anyway,
I like to imagine
the other half of the book is Johnny Storm at college, and nobody fucking cares.
By the way, Stanley didn't do coke. I don't know. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
Don't know.
I was just making a joke. Oh, it's the 60s. So shut up, Jack, and drop some acid with me.
But here's the thing now. Remember, okay, so check this out.
Overall,
In 1985 or so, or 6 or 7 maybe, they made a Silver Surfer limited series. And from that point on, in Fantastic Four number 50 until that limited series number 1 issue, he was trapped on Earth. So 20 years
Silver Surfer. Yeah.
20 years of comic book stories, he was trapped.
By the way, that was the thing we left out. That was the big thing. It was like,
That was his punishment.
I'll leave, but you are trapped on Earth.
Yeah.
You can't go to space.
He basically, what he did was make an invisible barrier that his surfboard couldn't.
penetrated.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's what happened: is the Fantastic Four he kept trying different ways and stuff, and that's how he gets involved with Mephisto actually. In the comics, is he's trying to get off the Earth and he makes a deal with him, but then he tries to take Shalabal, blah blah blah. Anyway, so they have an idea like, hey, what if you don't have to have your board, right? And he's like, well, yeah, if somebody's flying me, like if I don't have my board, I can't really fly. And they're like, oh, well, how about this? You can, atomize your board so it's part of you again, and then Sue and I will take you up in our spaceship past the barrier. Since you won't have your board.
Yeah.
That's how I'm pretty sure that's how they get around it. And so in that first issue, he finally becomes free of the bonds that Galactus, set for him or whatever. So,
well, and I want to say, too.
It's something that lasted long in the comic books. A long time.
I want to say, too, it did like, have a new sense of reverence for Kirby and Jack Kirby and Stan Lee and what they were doing. And it made Silver Surfer Black all the more sweeter to me because it really was Donny Cates' love letter to Stan Lee, I think, and that character. And it was actually really, and I'm glad that it was your idea to do that, given what Silver Surfer.
I gotta say thanks to Marvel for reprinting them in such a timely manner.
Well, it's just funny because
right before the movie comes
out.
The
way that Donny Cates wrote it, it's a prequel to that. Like it
all came together somehow like that, and I'm glad because
see right there an example of prequels that I enjoy. Silver Surfer Black. That is a prequel to what we just read, and it doesn't have the direct quote in these run of issues, but the fact that, again, he uses an actual quote from those books.
And again, I really want to get that Mobius book with Stan Lee.
And that's another funny thing.
We should read that one because you'll love that shit.
I want to point out about these 3 issues.
Yeah.
I think that I would have been fine not knowing anything else. Like, if this were it, and then, okay, down the line, you're like, okay, we're going to adapt it and make a movie and maybe touch on it a little bit more, but, the interesting to me about Galactus is all this extra lore that gets added on with all these different writers doing different things with him and Silver Surfer and all these other characters. But it's just so, I feel like even if it were just this, I think that's interesting enough. But then the fact that okay, well, he wasn't always like this. He was on he's part of this dying world and all this backstory with him. And then same thing with Silver Surfer with the Norrin, his story and Shalabal and all that. It's but to me, it's what we were talking. It kind of all ties back to what we were talking about with Before Watchmen. If it's good, I will accept the prequel and I will enjoy the prequel. And
if it's done right,
even if it's a retroactive prequel like what Silver Surfer Black was, that's fine.
Yeah,
as long as it's good. And
that's what I was saying earlier about I agree.
And if that Minutemen series is good, I will gladly read it. That's what I'm saying. If it is good,
I absolutely agree that Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny, I will agree with Indiana Jones purists that they were not necessary. Okay. However, I enjoyed both of them for what they were supposed to be, which was Indiana fucking Jones movies. And they both were, to the core. And those who didn't like them, I don't know what to tell you. The whole joke, the whole South Park joke about them like assaulting, it didn't hold up then, and it certainly doesn't now.
Yeah.
But the point is that I agree again. They shouldn't be done, but if they're done well, I can forgive them because honestly, it may add a layer to the character. And they don't really go too in depth into Silver Surfer's origin in this first saga at all,
or Galactus.
No,
it gets touched on much later. Yeah.
Sure. Well, back then they were kind of like you know. I mean,
again, it's
some
thrown
writer,
together. Yeah.
Well, some writer would come along and be like, you know, who we haven't explored is Galactus.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, it's like the whole like. What is it with any event that happens in comic books? It's we haven't done something with the X-Men in a while. Oh, we haven't done something with Batman and Superman, and let's reboot this and like.
And when you think about like I got that book because I thought it would be fun. Because what are these 3 issues that we read? Are they not largely fun? Mm-hmm. They're largely fun, right?
They're enjoyable.
And so I was like, okay, let's read something fun, and that's why I like reading those books again too, because you begin to understand why there was such a shift away from that to grittiness, and why it's always cyclical and all that shit.
Well,
but also it allows you to appreciate that there was a time in the world when comics weren't realistic. Like real life based in the real world, like that, which I can appreciate books that are well done like that. Mm-hmm. Watchmen is a perfect example of one of those, alternate universe, alternate timeline.
Yeah, and I mean, some of my favorite stories.
Well, we wrapped it up with the Watchmen again. Look at that.
And Watchmen is an example. Like some of my favorite stories are really dark.
Balls so sweaty.
Are really like dealing with some.
Your
balls.
Chair really makes my balls sweaty. Like it's got one of those like cushiony. It's a folding chair from a church basement.
Can I just say?
Sure.
That like I said, it was nice to go back to a bright, shiny comic book and just be in that world.
Pretty colors,
like we were discussing.
Not too many consequences.
I want to also say, like to the flip side of that, I am grateful. Wow, I am grateful for puberty.
Going through puberty all night.
I am grateful, though, for what Alan Moore and Frank Miller and what they did in the late 80s.
Of course.
Like, they had to, like you said, they had to do that. They had to make those changes because humans and tastes change.
Look, 10 years after that is the drug stories in Spider-Man and Green Lantern and Green Arrow. 10 years after this, okay, in the 70s. All right, 10 years after...
Stan Lee literally wrote a storyline about Harry having drug issues.
10 years after that is fucking Dark Knight Returns, okay? So, I mean, 5 years after the drug stories, here comes Chris Claremont. In fact, no, Chris Claremont came along in the 70s. And when the X-Men came back as a real issue.
Yeah, and Green Arrow was doing the political things and touching more adult
You know what we ought to review is...
Green Arrow, Green Lantern.
The X-Men stories between that first initial Kirby Lee run and the all-new giant-size X-Men were horrible. Like, they weren't good at all. Like, they had these horrible costumes. We should review those sometime.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, because it'll be fun to be like, look what the X-Men almost was. And then they canceled it. Do you believe they ever canceled
Claremont
it?
saved it.
Cockrum and Roy Thomas, I think. Roy Thomas, I think.
And then
was a big part of it. Because he helped. I think he helped.
I would argue that Wolverine,
he made Wolverine
saved X-Men.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of an innocuous, like, can we have this guy? Like, sure.
Well, yeah, because he already existed. He was on the...
Oh, yeah. He'd been in Hulk like a year or two earlier.
Well, and he was on the Canadian team.
But Claremont made Wolverine who he is.
Yeah, Claremont was like, well, he's Canadian. So.
He's also got some crazy stuff going on with his memory, and he's also a former ninja. Boom, boom, boom. Look at me. I'm Chris Claremont. Bippity, bippity. I can write stories. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.